Hey, what's up guys, my name is Fox and welcome to another video. Now I took a short break of around 4 days from Lost Ark, social media and all of that in general to come back and be recharged, and then I look into Lost Ark to catch up on some of the stuff I've been missing, to find some additional mails in my mailbox, and I was very surprised what that could be. And of course it's simply just bots trying to sell me their fast, cheap and good delivered gold to my mail. No, I didn't buy gold. Of course, they were just advertising for it, as they do. I wasn't online the last 4 days basically, and they still managed to find their way into my mailbox in the game, which is very surprising. This alone shows that bots have become a massive issue again. There was a time where bots already were a massive issue, then it slowed down a little bit, but over the past few weeks or even months, bots have been running rampage everywhere, mostly on the NA servers. There are now queues up to 15k just because the bots are taking up all the slots for the actual players. And this is exactly what I want to talk about in this video, how bots are actually ruining the game, how they have been ruining the game from the get-go, and all the things that surround bots. We're gonna have a look at the Steam charts to see how many bots do we imagine there are. Then we're going to have a look at the market board to see how they are trading things and the clear indicators that bots are running rampage. Then we're going to also talk about something interesting that was found, a damage hack that bots can use to clear content they otherwise wouldn't be able to clear, and of course a few more things. So for now, let's have a look at this problem that is actually destroying Lost Ark. Now, what makes bots such a problem in Lost Ark? In a lot of MMORPGs or free-to-play games, bots are running rampage anyway. But in many games, you can simply choose to ignore the bots. For example, in Final Fantasy XIV, bots of course are also advertising, sending PMs to players to buy some gil. Now, if you haven't played Final Fantasy XIV, gil is a currency that is not used really to upgrade your gear and is mostly something you don't actually need that much. It doesn't affect the economy crazy, or let's say it doesn't hinder your gameplay because the economy is only built on gil. But in Lost Ark, as we know, gold is the most valuable source. Gold can buy you anything. It can buy you blue crystals. It can buy you the best necklaces on the market board. It can get you anything. And that is exactly the problem with Lost Ark and the bots. The bots basically are running rampage, trying to generate as much gold as possible by doing rapport actions, by selling materials, and that way they generate gold. That gold then again of course is sold on third-party websites for a very cheap amount, where you pay barely anything compared to the in-game shop for a huge sum. Now that by itself is not the problem. The problem that happens here is that we are currently generating much more gold than the game allows us to generate. And we're not talking about the normal player, we're talking about the whole player base, including the bots here. In Korea a few months back, the game was facing a massive inflation problem, aka players were generating too much gold and everything lost its value. Then they had to introduce certain things to make sure that players generate less gold, like the 6-character limit and also certain shops where you can buy or gamble for other things. Now here on the EU and NA, of course, we are generating so much gold right now due to these bots using all these fine resources to generate that gold to then sell it to someone that does RMT. Now that person that buys the gold from the third-party website is injecting this gold into our economy in some form or way, unless they would be spending it on upgrading their gear or on basically upgrading the quality on their gear with the relic gear. Now the gold injected into our economy causes already inflation. Now prices are through the roof for a lot of things. For example, we can just simply take our grudge books. The prices are insane. We never had these prices on the Russian servers, even when we had way more income than we have here. Everything here is more expensive. Everything. The free-to-play life is not very nice on our servers due to this happening right now. So you can imagine that bots are actually a really big issue, which are actually destroying Lost Ark basically by inflating the game with gold and making it impossible for you to get good value for your real life money unless you RMT that gold, or to stay free to play because it's quite hard with the amount of inflation happening unless you play for a significant amount of hours per day. So now that you know what problems the bots are causing, let's have a look at how many bots there are. Now, of course, this is a very hard question to answer, but luckily we have access to the Steam charts to have a guess at the actual number of bots. Now, in between the 9th and 10th of June, there was of course the usual maintenance where Amazon takes down the servers. But right before that maintenance, Amazon apparently deployed some IP block from the Korean area to not allow bots to connect from Korea. Apparently this also was for other countries in the same region. Now here we see a massive drop from around 700 or 800,000 players to something around 350 or 400,000. Of course, there are bots also that connect from different and other regions that were not even affected by this, so take this number with a grain of salt. Now, after the servers came back up, you can see a spike up to around 400,000 again, and then after the bots had already figured out a workaround to this new IP ban or area ban, whatever you want to call it, we spiked back at around 800k, if not even higher. Now this obviously means that we have a lot of bots playing the game, more than actual human players. And this is really a massive issue, as you can tell. If it would just be a tenth of the amount of players playing the game, you wouldn't really notice the bots. Yet, as you can see on the Steam charts, the amount of bots is more than the actual player base, if not even the double of that, due to the fact that certain bots also connect from other regions, meaning that they were not even affected by this area or zone ban, basically. So again, bots are a huge issue. While the bots, of course, are the main issue of this whole topic and the core problem, there is one other factor that plays into this, and that is the RMT. People that do RMT are as much a part of the problem as the bots. Now, the issue for me personally is that by now I cannot even blame anyone to do RMT because Amazon literally doesn't do anything about those players. They get a 3-day vacation apparently, and then they can log back in and enjoy their RMT'd gold. Now, it would be dumb of you to actually use the in-game shop at this stage to then pay much more than you would on one of those RMT websites, take a 3-day ban, and then you come back and enjoy your very, very cheap gold. That's why I can't even blame players anymore to do RMT. I usually have a very strict stance and saying, yo, if you do RMT, you're part of the problem, which fundamentally also is true because, as we all know, very easy, a market always works with offering and demand. If there's no demand for product, it won't be produced. So if no one would buy any gold, so no one would do RMT, the bots wouldn't pay off and they wouldn't bother running their business here. So inherently, people that do RMT are part of the massive issue, but at the same time, like I said earlier, I can't really blame anyone for doing RMT with the current way the game is. I feel pretty dumb logging in every day, doing my daily stuff and grinding really hard to keep up with someone that just uses a bit of cash to RMT them more gold than I will make within 3 or 4 weeks probably. So here are examples from the market board where you can clearly see that RMT is happening. In every section of the market board you will find extremely overpriced pieces that are being sold to players, which is where they do RMT. And of course it would be super easy to just ban the people that sold these or that bought these, because it is very, very clear that these things are actually RMT or someone transferring gold from account to account, which is also, as far as I remember, against the TOS. So again, it is very clear that all of this is an issue. Before I send you off, I want to show you one more very important thing. Now, not only are the bots ruining the economy left and right, as we just talked about, but they also found a damage hack. Now, in the clip I'm showing you right now, you will see how someone is destroying Descaluda within a very short period of time. Don't get me wrong, me and my mates can kill it within 1 minute 30 or less, but this guy is just soloing it within a few seconds. Now, what does this mean? As you guys know, with the June update, we will have the new bridge, right, which will give you legendary engraving books, and this means that every single bot that is high enough item level to queue up for that bridge will clear that bridge, again inflating the market board with new things like these legendary books. This is also why it has been discussed lately that the legendary books will actually be bound to everyone, which is again an opportunity for normal players to make gold, but it gets ruined by hackers or bots. And this is again another issue. I feel like I'm ending every segment with this is an issue because it actually needs to be taken serious. So now that you've seen all the things that the bots can do and how they're ruining Lost Ark, the question that remains is, why is Amazon not doing more, or Smilegate? It doesn't really matter who we're talking about, both are to blame equally. If you want to be angry at the company, please be angry at both, because both are to blame for this mess. And the question remains, why is this not taken more serious? We know that they have been posting about their war against bots here and there. They're trying to do different things, but nothing helps. We need really quickly a solution to this problem, because I can guarantee you more and more players are actually dropping from Lost Ark, also due to the bot problem. Not only of course, but the bot problem is really such a problem because I feel really dumb grinding when someone else just buys gold from an RMT website and then has it so cheap without real punishment. Back on Russia and on Korea, I know myself that people got their RMT gold retracted from their account. So if you bought, for example, 500k gold, at some point you get a message saying, hey, you bought that gold, we're taking that away from you. This means that that account then becomes quite useless, because if you are at minus, I don't know, 200k gold or 500k gold, that means you'd have to grind a lot because you can't even put anything on the market board due to the fact that it costs gold. Now, I'm not sure what the idea from Amazon or Smilegate is and why they are not doing more against that. Of course, I'm also aware that Korea doesn't face these issues due to the fact that they have the verification progress. That doesn't excuse them, especially as such a massive company like Amazon and the company at Smilegate is, to do something about this problem, which is very apparent, and we're just looking at this and I feel really dumb, because even the people that are running the bots are at this stage starting to make fun of Amazon and the player base, because it is so easy to make money off of the player base and off this game. And with that, guys, we are finally at the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something today. This was a very important video for me because I have enough of bots and I want people to start complaining about this. I want content creators to talk about this. I want everyone to talk about this so that Amazon and Smilegate can see how much of a problem this actually is. And I know it is being talked about. It just apparently is enough because we're not doing anything about this, or we're trying things that clearly have no effect whatsoever. Anyway, I don't want to rant much more. I want to say thank you to you for sticking out throughout the whole video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, and if you want to, you can also subscribe. I would like to know, have you encountered bots in Lost Ark? How do you feel about the problem of bots in Lost Ark? And do you think this should be prioritized over other things right now, or do you rather see new content in Lost Ark? Your opinion matters a lot to me, so let me know in the comments below. On that note, as always, wishing you all a great rest of your day wherever you live.